So you guys, you're working with candy. Now I've already shown you, I have images I took on my phone. We have all these different colors. This bag happens to have a lot of red stuff in it. But you're going to be looking at these when you make your line drawing. So we've talked about contour line. Remember, that's going to be the lines around these objects. It's going to be what's in the interior, all these little shapes in here, the word shapes, even the little writing here. So you got to keep that in mind. Once you have your composition in your phone, you've taken it, it should be a square image, and you should have a couple different candy kind of going off the edge to make it interesting. But once you've done that, I don't care where you put the template, you're just gonna trace your square template. Okay. And you'll have your image on your phone right next to you. And you're going to look at that image and you're going to draw what you see. Remember, the square of the actual photo is what you're going to be drawing. When you make your contour line drawing, you want to use pencil. Remember, this is copy paper. This is not great quality paper. So any mistakes you make, any erasing you need to do, you can do any of that you need to do on here, because you're going to take this and I'm going to give you your nice paper and you'll trace whatever you have here lightly on the new paper, and then you can start going right in with your colored pencils. What I'm basically doing here is I am figuring out where my shapes are. I'm blogging in the basic shapes of the objects that I'm seeing. So I know that the Skittles package is a rectangle, but it's moving around a little bit. It's kind of bent. So I'm going to try to capture that. So about how I did the logo and why it looks like the font. I didn't memorize this font. When I was looking at this to draw it, part of what I was looking at was the letters, because we know it says Skittles. We know a lowercase I has a dot. But what helped me the most to make them look the most like the package was to look at these negative spaces and try to draw those. So instead of thinking about this as, this is the word Skittles, I'm doing an S, a K, an I, and so on, I started looking at these negative spaces in between and trying to match those up. So that helped. The other thing that I did was I took a look at this. When you look at fonts, a lot of times you'll notice certain things will line up. So the tops of the letters all line up. The S is curved, but the K, the T's, and the L, those are all straight across. So you could actually draw a straight line across there if it was flat, and you'd be able to figure out where that is. So you saw me sketch this line, and that was why. I sketched the bottom line, where are the letters sitting? So that's where I put that in. They will bend a little bit as the package bends, so you can see it kind of bending. So it'll change a little bit, but that's what's going to help you. Okay, so that is my just about finished drawing. I could see all the information on these packages. The only thing I'm going to look at now is I'm actually going to go back to my now and laters, because here's the logo and here's where the logo goes. So from where I was looking at it, it was hard to see. So you can do that if you need to. You can look close up at it, or you can zoom in on your picture on your phone. I'm just going to turn this. I'm just going to kind of draw what I see there. One of the things I want you to remember when it comes to like writing, I'm not sure if you can see that. I'm going to try to lift it up towards that. There's this little tiny writing on there. And this is all about where it's distributed, all of these things. It's going to be really hard to see. So when you go to color that, even on here, it's really just going to kind of look almost like little black lines with spaces. So I would save this part here for when I do the final with the color. I would lightly sketch in where it goes, and that's what I did on this. Here's the placement. But then when I go to color, I can add it in there. My next step with this is going to be to put it on the light table and to trace it and get a nice, even drawing. So we're going to get rid of all these sketch marks. They're all going to be gone. Okay, so here's what I have. And now I'm going to trace it onto the nicer paper. So yours will be cut. Mine in this case will not be cut. I don't have a pre-cut square. We're going to turn it on. Make sure both sides are turned on. So this is the nicer paper. I'm going to take it and lay it on top. Okay, I did my original drawing with ebony pencil just because. But when it comes to tracing this, you need a regular pencil or a mechanical pencil, which is what I happen to have. This is one of my favorite pencils. But you're just going to look at it. Sometimes you have to push the paper down, but you're just going to trace what's on there. So I've gone from this to this. I will post pictures of both. And looking at it and looking at my perspective a little bit, the now and later package is bothering me. So I'm going to go in with what I know. I'm just going to fix it up a little bit. Not too much erasing. But notice I have a nice light sketch on here so that when I'm ready to go in with my color, I'm not going to have to worry about the pencil showing through so much. So if you need to make any little last minute adjustments, you can do that. But don't make it to where you have to erase a bunch of stuff. Having these two is what I'm looking for when we put in the grades. Once you have your final that you traced, then you will start with colors.